Chairman, I want to continue on a point of Joseph Daul, because I thought that Joseph Daul made an important intervention, and it's better that the staff of the PPE never prepare you a speech again. I think yes, you're far better like that, Joseph, and you go directly into the matter. What he said is very important, and maybe Mr. Callanan, you need to hear it in English also, because that's the reality. The reality is that a number of member states, and especially Britain, don't want to pay in 2013 their commitments, and by not giving in on this draft amending budget number 8 of 3.9 billion now, we push it until the 30th in the Council, until the 15th or the 20th in the Parliament, and they can push it to 2014. So that is what is happening in reality. And at the same time, these political forces are urging us to approve the MFF, the Multi-Annual Financial Framework. And they cannot deliver their commitments and make it so that there is no deficit in the beginning of 2014. Well, I think, Mr. Daul, you are totally right. And it's important that we see now Thursdays what's happening, because we have to stop this cynical little game played by a number of member states who are officially in favour of the MFF, but in fact doing everything to not fulfil their commitments and to start with a deficit. And my second point is about the intervention of Hannes Swoboda. I think my first European Council, I want to tell you that, my first European Council was in 1999. It was in Tampere, in the north of Finland only, where the reindeer are living. And that was the summit, of migration policy. The Tampere summit in 1999, under the presidency of Finland, decided to develop finally a common migration policy in the European Union. That's 15 years ago that we have taken that decision to have a common migration policy. And here we are. Here we are, a few hours before the start of the European Council, with what Hannes Swoboda has rightly described as a shame for the European Union. One paragraph to say, okay, we shall start a migration policy and we shall have some ideas in June 2014, what is exactly the same. It was less even than we have already discussed 15 years ago in Tampere in Finland in this European Council of '99. What I'm asking for is that we should develop a policy, and that the Commission also come forward with a policy based on 3 pillars. What we urgently need. The first is that we give more money, more instruments to our European institutions, to Frontex, to Eurosur, so that we can avoid these tragedies that we have seen in Lampedusa. Because the only way to do is to give the money to Frontex and not the 90 million. Well, that is today the whole budget of Frontex. With 90 million, Frontex have to do a job in the whole Mediterranean Sea and to avoid the tragedies that we have seen in Lampedusa. First thing to do, more funding for Frontex and more funding for Eurosur the fastest as possible. And the second is, I think we have to be honest to our citizens. We have to start with a policy of legal economic migration in the European Union. It has no sense what we are doing. A number of countries have urgently a need for migrants. Germany, for example, they shall need 4 million of migrants in the next 10-15 years if they want to keep their economic records and their economic results of today. I think a policy of legal migration is necessary, like the US have a policy of legal migration, like Canada has a policy of legal migration, like Australia has a policy of legal migration. And it is the only way to avoid and to eliminate illegal migration and human trafficking as we have today. And my third point is we need also a policy towards North Africa, where are coming from these migrants. We have not given €1 more after the Arab Spring to these countries. We have simply repackaged the money that was already in the budget. And then my last point and my third point, Mr. Barroso, is on the banking union. there is, in my opinion, only one priority for this summit, instead of this long list of topics. You know, when there are too much points on the agenda, you decide nothing at all. It's better to have one point on the agenda. It could be the banking union. Why not a political agreement so that the Council agrees with the proposal of the Commission? Because that's my proposal. My proposal continues to be that Council and Parliament start immediately the negotiations. Why it's necessary that we adopt a position paper and lose months? Why it is necessary that the Council lose months in negotiations and in debates? The proposal of the Commission is a good proposal. That's what we need, and we need it urgently. Because every day that the banking union is not in place, that means a loss of initiative and investment in the real economy, because that's the problem. It's not all the money that we shall find at the right or on the left. The problem is that the transfer of money from the banks to the real economy is blocked today, and only the banking union, a European solution, can solve that problem. Thank you.